Good morning and welcome to
Morning.
Is This a Cosmic Joke? Yes.
Yes, yes, it is. What
Oh
is the
man.
update for today? I have my
Well, this is
coffee.
9/11, and 9/11 has a lot of energy behind it. And the information yesterday was that this last wave that came in yesterday afternoon, which was just whoosh, massive, was all about assisting in clearing the collective consciousness. And so I posted, it was about, those of us that are doing collective consciousness work to be prepared, because normally we're used to how we do things. But in
Mhm.
this particular case, it's deeper and it's at a greater cellular level, that they're having larger packets of stuff come up than we've had previously. So it comes down to, like we were just talking about, the self-care. Recognize that, okay, I've done as much work as my frequency can at a particular level, and I can feel that my frequency is dropping. So we stop. We rebuild yourself and get back up into the frequency that is appropriate for going back in to do the collective consciousness work and not getting overloaded. A lot of us, though, are getting hit with our own inner work of stuff, and it's fun. I mean, it really is. It's fun, but it's like, what's the word? You don't. It's like, wow, why did I not see that? How did I miss that? What was the recognition? I mean,
It's
even the other,
actually been going on for a few weeks now.
yeah, the last 2 days, I think, yeah, since Sunday has just been kick up,
Yeah.
massive kick up, I found. And even like, my husband had written a message. He wrote something, I don't even remember what the words were, and it triggered something within me that even didn't have anything to do with what he said. It was the most bizarre thing. It was as though, like, somehow my subconscious reframed the words in another order. I mean, it completely unlocked like a massive trauma from 2013, and I was like, how did that happen? But it was really good. But that's, I mean, the I think physically everyone is going through something different. I don't think there's any particular, the heart chakra is enlarging, and as it's enlarging the space, there are people that are having throat issues, people having solar plexus issues, but there's also people that are having, further out because they've gone through that and they're now into the root or into the crown, or headaches. Headaches have
Yeah,
been an issue.
people are experiencing a lot of issues. Okay, so last night, I mean, I have been since our conversation before. I have been going up. I mean, they've been coming giving me messages, but as of last night and what they told me, I mean, I had a bunch of beings come in here and they're like, there's been another huge mass awakening. And I was like, okay. And they're like, we need you up in the high realms. And I was like, okay, what do you need me to do? Like, what are we clearing for? Um, just major on top of it, I'm on autopilot all day long, sitting there like complete autopilot, going in, fishing out, and the stuff that just keeps coming up. And I was telling you the other day, all the relationship stuff, and I'm like, why is this? So I really dug in deep, and it's just it's fresh wounds. So anything that's fresh, they're clearing. I mean, it's a huge collective template clearing. And then we're going through this is the 6 ego upgrade. So this is another thing that we're going to right now. And it's really beautiful, but if you know how to shift out of it, took me forever to shift out of it because I was such in resistance for so long and staying stuck there. But you're going to go into contraction and then you're going to go into expansion.
Correct.
So you have to contract to be able to go, but when you're contracting, you have to look at everything that comes up, all patterns. What is the stuck core issues? Mine, yeah, mine is still running programs from inner childhood, which is childhood trauma, complete control issues. We all have major control programs that are running, definitely for the collective too as well. That was one thing, letting go of control and then letting go of judgment. So a lot of stuff is all like within. If you could let go of control and judgment within yourself, then the external is going to change. So this is a lot of things that I was running, but it was just like massive work, and then going into the same old stories. And I was like, okay, just let's clear these and shift them out as fast as possible. And then once you realize that you're contracting and you're able to shift, me, I'm just on autopilot the whole day, just really sitting there looking, you know, like, okay, and then shifting, and then you'll go back into expansion. So it's hard, you know, the heart goes into the contraction and expansion right now, big time. So
yeah, it does, and it's part of that's a program as well, because we are so used to how we've dealt with trauma or not dealt with trauma and painful experiences. As we contract, we bring ourselves back into ourselves. But this time, you know, they're asking, can we at least, when you do that, because you're not spreading your light and you're not being, you know, all that you are, when you're in that contraction state, is recognize why. Again, you know, not necessarily what it is that put you there, but why are you again resorting to contract yourself,
which is
back
victim
into
mode.
that?
It's actually victim mode.
It's safety. In all of
it's
this, it comes
safety.
down to safety. And
Yeah.
for me, my biggest issue had been trust. And I really noticed that, you know, the couple of days too. And it was like, wow, I mean, trust is, you know, who do we trust? How do we trust? When do we trust? It became this huge, massive thing. And I realized for me, I just had always been so independent that I'll just do it myself. I don't want to have to rely on anyone to help me. I don't want to rely on, you know, anything. I don't want to have to give that trust, so I'll just do it. And it's really, yeah.
But do you trust yourself? Are you trusting yourself enough to make the right decisions? Because a lot of stuff is internal,
Yes.
and that's something that they're showing me, is that it's all internally inside of you. So everything that's coming up in your triggers is just you. And I was sitting there going, I can accept that. And the fact that I accept that helps me move things a whole lot faster. So that right there is like huge. So I guess like if yours is trust, and you got to go in and why don't you fully trust yourself 100%? You know what I mean? It's kind of like sitting there for a minute going, okay, once you acknowledge it, and that's something that they showed me, they're like, once you acknowledge, it can shift, so it can be released so much more faster. So,
Absolutely.
and I'm like, okay, good. Just take it in. So everything you're seeing is you. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I'll be like, this is me. This is all me. These are all internal programs that are running inside of me. And then
I noticed
you'll see how your energy just goes and shifts, you know, back into that frequency and that expansion, you know.
And the liberating, freeing thing for me was to see that I absolutely trust myself in what my intuition is, what my guidance is. But the little bit of an issue was that, you know, the caveat was always, but how do I explain it to somebody else so they understand? And that was my whole big issue. And it was amazing to uncover that in itself, because it's like, why do I have to explain anything to anyone? And it was just like, this massive freeing of, I can trust myself. I don't have to explain why I came to this or what I'm doing, because everything that I do is for the highest. I mean, that's my intent. And if I'm not and somebody calls me on it, excellent. You know, let me look at it. Let me change it. Let me do something else. Yeah. But we're complex, each and every one of us. And it's the cellular level, again, of things that are coming up that were unresolved when, you know, you were 12. When you were, you know, 17, when you were, you know, 30 or however, 60 if you're, you know, older. It is nothing. Things that are coming up are from a person that you used to be, that you no longer are. And so many of us kind of just went, that section's done, and, you know, and on to the next part of life. Like, you know, that relationship's done, that job's done, you know, I moved. And we do just kind of take a, you know, that line in the sand going, okay, that's done, and I move on. But at this point in this process, they have to come up. So a lot of the stuff that's coming up going, wow, I've already resolved that. Yes, you have, and congratulations. And it'll help you look through it quicker. Just recognize that at one space in time within your life, that's really what you did believe. That's how you acted. That's what you did. And again, like you said, just accept it. Just accept that's what it was, so that it can be released and gone.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is review too, though. So a lot of stuff that's coming up is also review. I guess it's just like noticing what the different things are. I
think the review of that is mostly so that you can make better choices now. Because if we don't review it and see why we did it, what was the reason we did it, what was going on, then we can't make choices now in this now. So.
Yeah. And then what else? Anger, a lot of anger, shame, guilt, all that stuff needs to get rid of. And that's something that that's how my counsel trains me. But they told me, like, if you want to be in the new earth frequency, you have to get rid of all of these programs. It has to be with unconditional love and purity within your house. You have to go back to purity. And that's what, they explained to me. So they're like, all this stuff is coming up for you to get rid of. So all your perceptions are going to change. And then they also said relationships are also going to change. You're going to attract different relationships. At this point, I just want heart-to-heart connections with people. And that's and unity consciousness, and to be in unity. But you have to be in unity, and that's another thing that they told me. They're like, you have to be in complete unity within yourself to be in union. Everything has to be of nothing but unconditional love and purity within. And I was like, okay, so I totally get that. And all the stuff that comes up, it's actually beautiful because it's still things that are writing in, and I'd rather just get rid of them. So as fast as possible. So
exactly.
It's deep cellular, very, very deep cellular cleansings. But going back to the mass awakenings, a lot of people are going to be waking up, and it all depends on how they take it. A lot of people will probably end up going into really bad anxiety or depression, sometimes psychosis, which is kind of normal with the waking up process. You could go into it a few times, actually.
Do tell.
A few times, but like you got to. Like, I'm sorry, any other Western doctor is going to tell me, no, but no, you literally have to lose your mind to wake up. Everything will change. Everything in your life will be questioned. Who am I? Once you start stripping all your layers away, and I was telling this with a client the other day, I'm like, once you strip down to nothing and you keep stripping, you're going to be questioning, who am I? Am I even on the path? Is my perception even what it is? Is my belief systems, are these even my belief systems anymore? Are these just old belief systems? And then it's constantly changing. Oh. Oops. Hello? I'm still here. You are frozen. Are you coming back? Oh no. Okay. We had a little freeze, so we had to pause it for a minute. We're going to continue. Apologize for wherever we stopped at. Go ahead.
I don't know where we stopped at.
That's what happens when you're channeling.
Oh, absolutely.
We're like, what were we talking about?
Well, I guess we were talking about people waking up.
There we go. Yeah, that's what I was sitting there. It just
because all of a sudden it reminded me that the 14th is a massive day, and that I got the impression that there would be those that were waking up, and whether the 14th, I think for a lot of us that are whatever it is we want to call ourselves, to be doing the collective consciousness work of clearing as much as we can, as fast as we can, because we know that we're clearing for our entire soul group, and that whatever we can get out of the collective is automatically going to make things a little easier for those that are waking up, because it's less that they have to work through, less that they have to deal with, less they have to react to. And that the 14th, like you were saying, I think people will kind of go psychotic a little bit. The potential is there, depending on not having any idea what's going on. And it was funny because I had the 14th in my calendar for over a month, or however it's long since we first talked about it. And it wasn't until I realized that the full moon is the 13th, Friday the 13th, that I went, great, such perfect timing, for all of this to go down at the same time.
Yeah, it's 17th too. I got an actual date.
Yes.
about something on the 17th. So, and that was in dream state. So.
Yeah. Well, the 18th is the second 9/9 day. So that's because we've got 9/9, 9/18, and 9/27, or 3/9/9 days this month, and all of them are ending of a cycle. So the 17th again would be the ending of whatever it is, or the getting to the ending of whatever to get to the next things that we're closing out. And I noticed that because 9/9 was just an epiphany day. I mean, it was just almost to the point of being bizarre. Just all of everything that was happening and not happening, and it was beautiful. But I also went into those. We need to find new words, because it's not like I was into fear or I wasn't scared, but I mean, it wasn't even anxiety. It was this level of excitement, but trepidation. I don't even know what words to use for, like, this is happening. Things have really shifted. I could feel the entire quantum shift of the whole timeline jump to something else. And it comes up that humanness of the unknowing, I guess, but yet having that trust. I mean, it's like I was so glad the trust issue would just come up. It's like, yes, I trust. I trust the universe. I have no idea. They've given me no indication as to what they just jumped me onto, or what I just jumped me onto, I guess is more proper, and where it's going to go or what to do.
Yeah.
Except just do what I feel is the right thing to do. But that's one thing that the crew was talking about last night, that we're on what do they call it? A quantum trial run. And I'm like, okay. And it is making things easier. They say your words have to be exact. They have to be exact, because whatever it is, like I said something about, I needed more Facebook friends, and I didn't specify that it was for, for business, for, promotion, for whatever it was. And they were pouring in like crazy. I mean, it was absolutely the most ridiculous thing, until I stepped back and remembered to ask the crew for business issues, kind of, for what we could use for business. And that we're going to be, receptive to the work that we do and understand and love, and that we could be of service. Actually, it wasn't even business. It was of service to those that we can be of service to, because I revised it the third time in telling them. So it's like they're saying that we have to really watch in the quantum field, that it's like we have full and total access. We're there, we're in it, and they are allowing us to, screw up in what we're asking for and doing by not being aware, because I understand that that's how the human seems to learn things, is by making mistakes and then correcting them. So if we can possibly think a little, broader before we actually speak and talk and take action, the better.
Yeah. So one of my council is saying that we have to be 100% and wanting to be in full service.
Yes.
To everybody. And I've been been working with some of my clients, and I love working with them and doing one-on-one coaching, because it's so fun to look at mirrors. So everyone that comes to me is basically just a mirror of me. So I'm kind of like, I'm working together at the same time with this person, and I'm learning a lot. So
and the other side of that, though, is to watch and see what they're working through as a mirror, almost of a congratulations of, oh man, I just got through that. I just completed that. And it's really good recognition. Yeah, it's beautiful. I enjoy also.
Yep. So it's beautiful. Definitely is. I'm trying to think what else have they just keep talking about this mass awakening. So I'm just up there clearing as much as I can. I cleared for my soul group on a major level of all narcissism and also control. That's what they told me to go up and start clearing for my soul group. In order, everything, of course we do everything within ourselves. There's like a lot of programs. They were showing me all the programs, and they're like, okay, now go up and clear for your whole soul group. And I was like, okay. Like, let's just get this done as fast as possible. All addictions, too. Exactly. I did that, like, the week before. I've been clearing for that, too, because a lot of them, I've noticed, a lot of starseeds are stuck in addictions, really hardcore addictions and drugs, and I realized that every single time we have a big mass awakening or a big shift like the 888 portal, they're going down hard into drugs, and some of them are actually dying. So so I was going up and helping clear for that for almost about a week, and then now I'm clearing about basically every list of narcissism you possibly can think of, and then traumas. So that's what they had me doing. So I was like, great. Okay, cool. So I did go up there a few times. I'll be like, okay, let's just do it. But I'm doing everything in my dream state now, so I can stay more on the earthly, and accomplish what I'm supposed to be doing in this plane. And what's important as of right now for me to upgrade and basically clear programmings, right now, rewiring for me to move into where I'm supposed to be on my highest path. So those are like the focal points right now. So I'm doing well on that, and actually listening to them.
Congratulations.
I was never a good listener. Now I'm like, all right, let's do it.
Oh, I'm a good listener, but I ask a lot of questions until I completely understand what it is that you're asking of me.
I was like, yeah, those things are really important to me right now. So it's probably the most important for my whole life experience here right now. So it's good.
That's true. It's next level. I mean, it's been amazing in the last few days. Yeah. I probably should have the book published either by the end of the week, if not by the next weekend, and I'm really excited about that.
I'm excited for you.
Time. I know. I am too. Thank you. The push for the internal of just staying in our highest is really just the most important. I mean, we have responsibilities, we have duties, and yet it's coming to learn of how can I maintain my highest frequency and do what needs to be done. How does that work for me? How does that look? And separating it out from all of the programs of what we're told is the way that things and how it works.
Everything that is like, yeah, they're sitting there. The things that they tell me are just like cracking me up. They're like everything between 3D, your whole work life. That's another thing I've been clearing for too as well. Everything at work, everything was always so 3D dimensional. They're like, you literally need to wipe that all clean, and you need to find a new way of doing things. And I was just like, okay. So I'm learning that too as well. And I was just like, okay. Like, so they're showing me really cool things. I'm being shown some really, really, really cool things. And I'm actually being able to accomplish. So it's cool. It's really nice.
You're doing an excellent job.
And so are you.
Yeah, and that's true. Well, back to the clearing stuff. My stages, I think, that I've been working through on the collective have been everyone at about the 12-year-old level of the missed step of our initiation into the alignment with our soul at that age, because that's what should have been. And it was like trying to before that and better is kind of my phrase of trying to back everyone back up so that you have that connection, that what was supposed to have happened at about the age of 12 to assist in accepting and understanding what's going to hit you here if you're not awake yet on this next few waves. Because by the end of the year, it'll be beautiful. I really believe that the majority of the planet will be awake. Still in the early stages, but it will be by 2020. I mean, again, 2020, full vision. It's getting all those that will in this lifetime will be awake.
Yep. And they're all that's another thing that I'm being taught too, is a lot of them, everyone is where they're supposed to be.
Yes.
Everyone is where they're supposed to be. So we don't have, one of the things is there's no point in rushing. There's no point in hurrying. There's no point in any of that. They're like, you're supposed to look at them as they're exactly where they're supposed to be right now at this time. That was their contracts. Those are certain things that I was being taught too. And now at this point, for me to do one-on-one coaching, they're really focusing me on what stage are they in. When they look at what stage are they in? What stage are you in? Okay, where are you on the level? So they're going in stages, and let's help them with this current thing. Now it could be inner work or just karma work. Are they in the stage of just doing karmic clearing right now, which is actually stage 2? And I would be like, okay, so they're showing me by different stages, and like, let's see, what can we do to help them at this moment in time, and then they move forward. Okay, exactly. Some people aren't ready for the ego, dissolving down the ego or transforming the ego or stripping away the identities. They're still in the karmic. So this is something that I was being shown. And then some people are ready for the ego, and then they're ready for the next level, which to me, I believe the ego and then the inner child goes hand in hand with each other, which I believe those are two different stages. So
yeah, the trauma and victimhood is kind of like one of the basics that everyone's going to have to go through here now with this next wave. That seems to be the first. And then there comes that guilt and shame of recognizing, what have I done? What, how I lived like this. I didn't know. And it's again a reassurance of going, you're right, you didn't know. And everyone did the best that they could with what they knew. And now that you know something else, you make adjustments. But I do find with a lot of the beginner ones that I've worked with, the concept of changing all of your beliefs seems to be a really hard one.
Well, it is for everyone.
Yeah.
It really is. I noticed that it depends on what age you're at too.
Exactly.
Okay. So that's even harder for I don't know, maybe the older ones. Some of my belief systems were hard to change, and I'm working through changing my belief systems. Just like my counsel they always make their joke, if you don't believe in us anymore, that's fine. We're okay with that. You're changing your old belief system, because technically it is an old belief system. It's evolution. That's what evolution is. And I was like, okay. I was sitting there going, and they're like, and we're okay with that, because at least you're changing your belief systems. It's all about changing your belief systems and your perceptions. And that's something they told me yesterday. They're like, what you used to think in your thought process and where you thought you were at, just like you asking for a new mission because you don't want to do this mission anymore, it's fine, because you're changing your belief systems. You don't want to believe in this anymore, and you want to change. So they're like, that's fine. But they were explaining that to me too. They're like, keep changing them, keep changing your perceptions, and keep shifting, because that's what we would like for you to do, is to always be in evolution, always be evolving. So that's I think that's probably been about the last month is what they've been teaching me, and keep telling me over and over again. It's okay. Look, you're going to shift and change. You could shift back just to do some looking within, and then going back, just, it's fine. Everything's no liner anyways, so that's what, you could be going.
And I mean, it all starts with you going, wait, so everything I've been taught and everything I learned my entire life was a lie? Yes.
A lot of people are going to be getting that are just waking up.
Yes.
That's one thing that you go into the different stages. You're going to become angry. There's some people are going to be running around going, you're puppets, you're zombies, you're dead cells. Yeah, like crazy, like you get that whole,
yes,
like oh,
I'm gonna change all of it right now.
You're all in the 3D. Get out! Like you want to go screaming at people and
convert,
and convert, and just like you might start putting signs and protest somewhere. I mean, whatever. Those are the stages of, and then people think you're completely nuts because your veils have completely dropped, or been lifted, or whatever you want to say. All your illusions, and you realize everything is a lie. Everything.
Yes. Everything.
I've been in that stage. I've wanted to run around and be like, wake up, Come on, wake up. I mean, you go through all those emotions and the anger. Some people are like, I felt like I was in a euphoric state for a good few weeks until that just dropped back down, and then you're like running like, oh my God, that's when you shift and you change. You can go into euphorics, and then sometimes it's like hallucinations, because when your veils lift, you are able to see the other side. So there's like all these different stages, and then you go into anger because you don't understand. Why can't these people see? Why can't they see? And then eventually, as you sit there and progress, you're going to realize that that's not how it should be. You're going to realize you can't control, and that's where control comes in, right? So that's where you have to start eliminating those belief systems, because you're controlling yourself. And then you're spreading anger in that vibration. When you're fighting against someone else, you're giving energy to that, and it's totally against, like, kind of like when you start to go into the different stages, into the heart consciousness and unity consciousness, that's just not the way it's supposed to be looked at. And those are just like different stages that you go through.
And they're nowhere near ready to understand that they're only screaming and yelling and causing a scene about it, because that's the reflection of themselves, of how angry, upset, and mad they are at themselves that they were in that position and didn't see it.
Yep.
But you get there, you see.
I say go crazy.
Yeah.
Get loose. Go crazy. Don't go too crazy. Don't go to jail. Okay. Well, hopefully not an institution, but but go crazy.
Express yourself.
Quit your job that you hate so much. Just do it. Okay, well, what's going to happen with the financial stuff? You'll be supported. You're on an ascension path. Watch how fast your guides move to take care of you. Like, they're there. Our councils are there with us. Every one of us has councils. Watch how fast they sit there and shift and move and quantum leap to make sure
And that's true. But there comes that level of commitment, because, again, we're saying that once you recognize and once you see, it's too late to turn back. You're on the path. And if you stop and try to say, no, I'm not going to do it, I'm going to stay back here, then it dries up. And freeze number 2. Awesome. Mid-sentence, I have absolutely no idea. But when you are on the path and you're moving forward, it becomes that really is your commitment. And if you back off and don't stay committed to that, I mean, the team will continue to send you some pretty crappy shit to get you to readjust, to get back on again. So if it means you need to go through a bout of, completely broke, homeless, or whatever, until you really click it into gear and get on your path that you need to be, that's what's going to happen. But again, once you find that commitment and you realize this is absolutely, I am not my human. This is just the human that was given a name, a number, in a location, in a tribe, in a group, a community group. I am me. I stepped into that. I stepped into it for karmic reasons. I stepped into it for lesson reasons. I am inhabiting this human vessel that is my car, just so that I can interact and work and do the things that I need to do, or I want to do while I'm here. And that's the other part, because there's going to come a point with everyone waking up that you have to realize who you are is not a human body. That's not you. Everything that human body went through is what we're cleaning up, because the human body, all of these emotions, all the reactions, all the triggers is what the human went through.
It's on a deep cellular level. We're transforming the human at this point. And that's why we're going to go back, because we're looping, but we're going to go back into the wording of like the fear, the shame, the guilt. These are human terms, and that's it. So you're like, we need to use new terms. The new terms basically is that we don't understand what's going on. So what's coming up is it's really it's what it is. It's on a deep cellular level. It seems as fear, it seems as shame and guilt, but it's really us completely upgrading. Our cells and our vibrations are completely raising, and we're having major shifts within our physical body, and it's the human self going, wait a minute, what is this? What's going on? Why is my heart beating so fast? You know, I'm dying. I'm going into fear.
My hands are sweating. Yeah.
Why are my hands sweating? Why do I feel like I'm about to go into fight or flight right now? Okay? Like, it's because your body, you are raising in vibration. So it's not, those are new words. I would just say our cells are vibrating and shifting, and that's just what it is. So the human self is taking it as being in fear or something's wrong, which is more
anxiety. Yeah,
anxiety,
exactly.
Depression. Good. It's why I tell people, people might be against this, but most people that have been coming to me with depression, I'm like, it's okay. You're clearing. That's what you're doing. Well, it's in society and the way that we're trained here, I mean, over in the United States, is that's wrong. There's something wrong with you. You need medicine. Okay? You need, you know, this could be, you know, this is whatever. Okay? This is not right. So all of a sudden, when you feel like you're going into depression, you feel like there's something wrong already. So think about that. You know, it's not that. You're clearing on a mass level.
Detox makes you feel crap.
And it comes with the Kundalini awakening. When your Kundalini starts activating and starts moving, you are going to go through those symptoms. Depression is a huge symptom. People are like, I've been depressed my whole life. Well, great. That means you've been waking up your whole life. That's awesome. In a sense. That was another real, I was, you know, working with someone, and I'm like, oh my God, you've kind of been waking up your whole life. Like, if you look at it, and like just looking at the person's timeline of when the Kundalini was activating, it was from when they were younger. So it's like, I was like, wow, okay, that's pretty cool. So
because the depression would show that there's a recognition already that the physical body is not in alignment with the soul self. Yeah. And so there's that disconnection. Of course, there's a depression because the physical body is going, oh, I want my higher self joined. I want to be joined in doing what we're here to do. And when we haven't completed that, the physical body does have a depression reaction to it because it knows there's more. It's wanting more. And it becomes, okay, acknowledging it. I feel you. I know that my body's not happy right now. And what can I do for you? Do you want some pineapple? You know, do you want chocolate? What is it that you need? You know, you want to go sit in the sun? What can I do to make my body happy? Because that is and what listening to your body. Yes. Yeah. Listening, it has to be clean. And if we're going through all the, just if you go back and you think, I mean, however old you might be, how many emotions have you felt in your lifetime? How many experiences have you had? How many tears have you cried? How many times have you been angry? How many times have you been abused? All of that stuff has a cellular memory within your body, and all of it has to come out. All of it. And so it becomes, am I going to gently love that previous me? Because I'm not the same as I was, 20 years ago when X thing happened to me. But I need to find it within myself somehow to love that me that I was and to support that me that went through it that I didn't even know, how to handle it, and recognize all that's going to come up again. It's as though we have to feel it one last time, but we don't have to feel it. We just need to observe it, allow it to come up, and to just keep going so that we can see where we were. Yep. Again, that's the really important thing that they're wanting to get through with. When these things are coming up from past experiences, try your best to remember that you are the observer, because the you now that is witnessing these things being played again, your stories coming up again, you're not that same person. So work diligently and not putting yourself back as that actor that was 20 years ago or 10 years ago or yesterday. It doesn't even matter what the time frame is, because if you continue to take on that persona and be that victim in the play, then you're just feeding it, and it's moving it forward and moving it forward. So,
and taking your power back. Know when you go into a victim mode is another thing, because you're going to have triggers to be able to recognize that. When do you feel like a victim? A lot of us, majority of us, all of us have PTSD. I don't give a crap what anybody says. You do. Yeah. You have PTSD.
You were born. Yeah.
And
that was traumatic.
That will trigger a lot. So look at the triggering for that moment, and then shift it. Take your power back. Shift out of it as fast as possible. Take your damn power back. Don't stand there in that victim mentality. Okay? You got to take it back. It could take a few hours. It could take some really looking within but if you recognize that you're sitting in a victim mode, or I don't feel safe, you know, I don't know. I say take the power back, because that's basically how I learned how to shift out of it. Like, this person nobody has power of me. If you have trouble speaking your voice, okay, speak your voice. You're gonna be forced to speak your voice and be your true and authentic self. And that's just what it is at this point.
And the true authentic soul self, not your true authentic human self. There's a big difference.
Yeah. I think it's the soul self. Be who you are. You don't have to be like everybody else. And that's another thing. We're all our own person too. So that to me is huge right now.
Which is part of,
I have throat chakra issues. So that's for me, it's for me standing. And if I make mistakes, okay, well, it doesn't matter, but at least I'm speaking my voice. So.
That's true. And I think the clarification that they're wanting to make is for those that are just waking up and that are new at this, because they'll go, well, I've always been this way. This is who I am. This is what I do. And this is, you know, how I do things. But as you're looking at the programs of those to clear them, when we're saying be your authentic self, it's recognizing what is the programmed human that you think you are versus the real soul that you are. And that does become a little difficult on being able to differentiate. It comes down to, how does it feel really? Is it loving? Is it good for all? Is it, you know, kind for all? Is it going to benefit you and anyone else that you're around? Or are you just going to be an asshole? It's not going to help you, and it's going to put you back in a whole karmic again. So
some people actually come off as assholes when they're first waking up, to actually speak their voice, and that is speaking from the soul. You are going to say things that are going to piss people off. You are. I mean, that's just what it is. So I mean, it's kind of like kind of like, and then eventually you'll sit there and especially the ones that don't speak, the ones that have major throat chakra problems are going to really surprise people, because they're like, whoa, wait a minute.
I know.
Why? What did you just say? Okay. Like, and you know, and for people, like, it kind of acknowledge it and kind of, I don't know, I look at it in like a beautiful perspective, because like most people have suffered from very, very severe trauma that can't speak their voice. So to me, I'm like, wow, you're speaking. Amazing. Exactly. That's beautiful. Even though you sound like an asshole right now, but
but
it's okay, because you know how much it took for that person to actually say it, you know, and they're probably sitting there shaking in the process of doing it. So,
and that's the other point of being exactly the compassionate on our end, because of recognizing people show us where they are. They show us where they are, and it becomes this learning experience of, okay, how can I work with this person? How can I, you know, at least assist in this process of letting them be where they are and what they're going through, which it is beautiful. I mean, it really is.
Yeah.
But it's happening quick. It's really coming on quick.
Yeah. I'm excited. The energies to me are beautiful, and the ringing, my universe has been really talking to me a lot. Not nonstop ringing frequencies in my ear, and it's not a call, because I already went to go look at that. So they're explaining that it's actually my universe is really I'm starting to really hear it. They said it's going to intensify probably in the next like 6 months, and then it'll go back.
That's the quantum field. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I'm sitting there like, okay, cool. Dream states have been fun too. Really weird stuff, but it's fun.
Agreed. Agreed.
I think that's all for me. What I have. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Doesn't seem like they're going to chatter on about anything at the moment, which is good.
No.
I'll get back to doing other work.
Yay. Okay, well, that's it for today. Love you guys. We hope that you have a great, fantastic, I would say next 7 days, because it's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.